What is the one thing you and your man Tone fight about?
Everything.
Want to make fast money?
Are you going to give me money?
Would you report Tone to the IRS for unpaid taxes if that meant you got a big payout?
Whoa. How much are we talking about?
When was the last time you had sex?
Nessa.
You're getting cheated on.
Oh my gosh.
Your mouth is going to be the reason why your relationship ends.
Wow.
What is the one thing you and Tone fight about?
I boiled it down, Nessa, to this. Communication.
Okay.
He says one thing, I think he says something else. I say one thing, he thinks I say something else.
Well, it's because usually you have bad attitude about it, a nasty tone.
Here we go.
The way you come at him, I'm going to be honest, it's disrespectful at times. Not all the times, because the other day we actually went out to hang out for once because funny enough, you invited me to go uptown. You had invited me.
I did.
And I was like, that's just too far. You got to come downtown.
Nessa,
but anyways.
it's not that far. Take the West Side Highway all the way up. I promise.
Come on.
You don't even got to be on the streets. Just take the West Side Highway. We're talking about New York City. It's easy.
Either way, you did such a great job when we went out and hung out the other day. When you did decide to come downtown, and it was a whole thing, and I did not see you snap once at Tone. Not once.
Nessa, it was an ordeal because first of all, it's really funny. It was one of the hottest days we've had in New York for a while.
Ooh, I love it.
And I called you because my AC is broken. My air conditioner is broken and I needed relief. Not just me, my family, my daughter and Tone. Mm-hmm. And you decided to take us out to lunch. And of course, on the hottest day, you brought us to get hot pot.
Hot pot, boiling broth, and you just throw everything in it. Vegetables, meat,
super bomb,
noodles.
so good.
It's so delicious. I can eat it anytime. I don't care if it's scorching outside.
Anyway, so Nessa makes me and my whole family come see her. But we hop in the car and my daughter Amara really, really hates being in the car. Mm-hmm. She gets car sick. She just doesn't like it. So
she's almost 3.
She's almost 3. She makes it the whole way. We go from Harlem all the way to Little Italy, Chinatown area. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have any car issues, but she's like, Mom, my stomach hurts. We're doing our breathing thing, but we make it. Mm-hmm. Get out the car. And I believe it's my fault because I saw one of those, like, you know, what do you call them? Like, not dandelions, but the things that are like you blow in the air that are like flowers. Really, I think they're pollen. But anyway, I grab it and I'm blowing it. And Amara's like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, you blow it. So she blows it once. And then I catch it again. I'm like, blow it again. And then I hear a little burp. I didn't even think anything of it. And then all of a sudden, Amar starts throwing up.
Yeah.
We're already outside the car, luckily. So I think her gag reflex finally caught up to her. She held it all throughout the car ride. I was so proud of her. And then she just starts throwing up. Anyway, all that to say, it was a very intense time because now our daughter's throwing up in the middle of the street.
Yes.
And Amara doesn't know how to throw up. So she's standing straight up and everything's dripping out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Versus, you know, when you kind of hunch over.
Right.
And then Nessa and Marcy come out and Amara sees them. And ordinarily you would have been excited. She would have been excited to see you guys. But now I guess she's embarrassed. So she starts crying more. High intensity going on where you can have a lot of emotions. And
for sure,
this is the recipe for arguing with your partner.
Right. This is a disaster.
The recipe. So he's there holding the car seat. I'm wiping Amara. There's throw up everywhere. Our friends start coming out.
Yeah.
Passerbys are like, here, you need napkins. Amara's crying. So you can just imagine. All that to say, everything worked out fine. I could tell Tone was just waiting there, but I'm sitting in the back of my head like, bro, put the car seat down and help us. He's just holding it, talking to these nice ladies who have decided to help us and give us napkins. It's like, bro, do something. Like,
I know, I saw it in your face.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything. But why, Nessa? Why wasn't he putting the car seat down and helping me clean her throw up or bend her over? And then listen to this. He has the nerve afterward to go, Katrina, you need to hunch her over because she doesn't know how to throw up. So you got to push her over.
Yeah.
I promise you I bit my tongue because I could have said some snarky stuff to him.
What would you have said? What would have been like a A+ response in that moment? Like Katrina energy 100%.
Okay. I would have said, well, you could have put the stroller seat down and helped me.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Ooh, let it out.
Nothing.
Let it
Listen.
out. Yes.
And you know what's crazy about that? I don't feel that's that disrespectful of a statement, but I know there's attitude. In that moment, that's how I would have said it. Like, well, you could have put the seat down and helped me.
Right.
Facts. To me, that's facts. But all that to say,
communication.
Long-winded communication. And yes, you now got a glimpse of how we are together. Because I've been talking about in the past episodes how we've kind of been like at each other's necks a little
Right.
bit. But Nessa, this is me. Like, I try my best to be cool, hold it in, which is may or may not be healthy, but I give him the benefit of the doubt. Like,
Yeah, you did good the other day. I was very proud of
that's
you.
the energy I continue to give
No.
him. That's why I think you're such a hater when you always choose
No.
his side over mine.
I know I've seen you snap.
But don't you think, okay, hold on.
I have.
Do you think when I do snap that it is merited?
I can see that.
Okay.
For sure.
If I snapped right in that moment, Nessa, you were standing there watching him hold the car seat and talk to some lady while I'm
Yeah.
trying to get Amara to stop crying,
Right.
saying hi to you guys, wiping the throw up off her. And he's just standing there. If I
think
snapped, you couldn't have said nothing.
I would have understood in that moment.
Thank you.
However, I think you could deliver the same message without that nasty tone.
Well, how about this? I didn't even say anything.
I know, but is that healthy?
Well, you know what? Maybe it's not healthy.
Right.
However, everything at that point would have been a fight. And this was, we just got to you
I know,
guys.
I know.
I'm not trying to have the whole meal be ruined.
Right. No, I get it. I get it.
Remember, we were all at the radio station in the studio. Tone went to go. We're like, Tone, can you go please to the corner store and get us some drinks? Remember?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember I asked him for a canned soda?
I
Very
do.
clearly.
I do.
He came back with a bottle soda. Now, to the, average person,
listener, right?
that might not be a big deal, but I was very clear. I was like, oh, I like the can better. Can you get, I could have just said soda,
Right.
but I very clearly said canned soda.
Right.
He came back with a bottle. And what did I do? I was just like, oh man, I asked for a can. It's all good. He's
Yeah.
all, oh, I didn't hear you. Or he's all, no, you didn't. Something to that effect.
No, he didn't hear you.
And then someone else was like, oh, I heard her. So I didn't even push it. But it's like, come
He
on.
didn't hear you.
He chose not to. How come everyone else in there heard me? You heard me?
Yeah, but he was diagonal in the room.
No.
And there was like,
If you are leaving
volume
and
up
asking
in the
everyone,
studio?
if you're leaving and asking everyone, all right, I'm going, who wants a drink? E Styles heard me.
shout out to one of our DJs, part of the radio station at Hot 97. His name is DJ E Styles. But E Styles was directly in front of you. The music was up. I'm right next to your side. Tone, to be fair, is across the console diagonal.
He wasn't trying to listen to me, Nessa. That's
do you-
all it was. If you're asking the room at large, what do y'all want to drink? And I say, can I get a canned Coke?
Do you think he purposely tunes you out?
At this point, maybe. You know what? That's not being fair. Tone's really thoughtful and he's really tries to, because you know what else he did? He brought me 2 other drinks. He brought me another water and a Snapple iced tea, which I like.
Oh, that's see?
But my heart was set on a canned Coca-Cola Classic,
Yeah.
Nessa.
We can fight over anything with everyone.
Yeah.
And it definitely gets more intense when you're in a relationship. These moments
Right.
can determine how the night is going to end. And if you're anything like Colin, it might determine the rest of the 2 weeks that you're going to experience. Because when he is fed up with me and he is exhausted of my trash, my annoyance, he will ignore me.
What's the number one thing you and Colin fight about?
Him ignoring me.
So,
Like him,
but there's a foundational thing why he's ignoring you, right?
I don't know. That's a
Like,
great question.
What's the root of why he's ignoring you? Because you keep nagging him?
Probably because I
Because
nagged
he's not
him.
doing what he needs to do.
Yeah, because I told him to move the boxes for over a year, right? The boxes, the 3 boxes that were too heavy for me to move, right? You
Right.
brought this up in a previous episode
I did.
and it pissed me off.
Yeah.
So, yes, I'm going to be a little agitated. For over a year, 3 boxes have been just right there in our hallway. Like, how do you not see it? You walk right into the house. It's an eyesore. It's right there.
Right.
It's like a statue at this point because it's 3 medium-sized boxes.
It's an art installation, Nessa.
Yeah, it's art, right? I'm sure we could sell it. Someone's gonna be like, "It's art. Look at the box.
This
Look
is
at it. It's
art.
about to
Mixed media.
fall apart." It was so overstuffed, but I had it purposely stuffed like that because I thought Colin was gonna move it in a timely manner. So I get annoyed with stuff like that because I have a certain expectation, especially on timeliness and deadlines. One of my pet peeves in my life, and you know this by working with me at this point, something within me is ticking when deadlines aren't met. It really, really bothers me, or just not getting things done. And I don't know, you know what? Maybe the actual frustration that I have towards Colin not getting things done in a timely manner that I want is because of you.
Oh my God.
It's because we talked about this on a previous episode. My stress level is through the roof because You don't finish a lot of the tasks that you're supposed to, right? And that kind of trickles down. So I let it fester in. And then the minute Colin doesn't do one thing, like move the boxes in a timely manner, yes, it's 3 boxes. Yes, they're heavy for me. I get it. It's just 3 boxes. For somebody who's just tuning in right now, they think I'm crazy. But I've been waiting for over a year for these 3 boxes to move.
Why didn't you just move them, Nessa?
They were too heavy for me.
You could have done it.
Do you want my back to go out again?
I'm just saying.
Are you going to come and take care of me? That was before you had a kid. You were able to help me. You can't help me now.
Once it gets to a point where it's been a year, I do it to prove a point. And if my back hurts, then I can blame that on Tone too.
Do you think Colin will care if I prove a point? Absolutely not.
He might.
He won't even recognize the boxes are even gone. He probably already forgot that I was expecting the 3 boxes to be put away.
If you hurt your back, he would.
Yeah, he's going to give me exercises to do for my back. He's going to hit up his trainer, Josh Hidalgo, who's amazing, who's been training him for 8 years now, going on to 9 or whatever it is. He'll probably tell me exercises to do. You know what Colin would say to me?
What?
Ooh, you have to strengthen your core.
Oh, gosh, I hate core
Don't you hate when he says that?
I hate anyone that says that to me. Like, no, I don't have to strengthen my core. It's
I
arm
don't
and
care.
leg day, baby. It's arm and leg day all day.
Do you remember the arguments that you had with Tone before having a child?
Same thing. He don't listen to me.
No, I really don't remember arguments with Colin before we had a child. And it's because I need help. Move the boxes when I say, move it. Anyways, all that to say, give yourself grace. Give your relationship grace. It's not going to be perfect, especially when you do have a family, because there's so much going on. The responsibility falls on the parents.
Right.
So the tolerance to anything is very thin at this point.
Yeah.
Anyways, if you and Tone don't work out in the long run, you might find a way to get a down payment for a house.
Whoa.
Get your student loans covered, taken care of.
Whoa.
You might have some extra money saved in the bank.
Okay. How? Because I'm ready for us to not work out.
If all this could happen.
Plus my other debt, give it to me.
All of it. All your debt is taken care of, and a down payment for a home, all of it.
How about pay the whole home?
Half. We'll do half in this scenario. But let me tell you the story and why I'm saying this to you. So there was a story, it was on TikTok, about this woman who found out that her boyfriend was cheating on her. Right when she found this out, she decided to report him to the IRS, which is the Internal Revenue Service. And what they do is they enforce federal tax laws.
Boo.
Boo. Wait, don't boo too hard because they might come after us. Anyway, so she decided, the story goes, to report her ex because she caught him cheating on her.
Okay.
And she supposedly got paid out $100,000 by reporting her ex.
Reporting him for what?
Because of his unpaid taxes.
Wow.
So she knew that he wasn't paying all his taxes or the full amount, whatever it was. So she decided that, boom, he wants to cheat on me. I'm going to go and put his business on blast. And then, yeah, she reported him to the IRS. And apparently she collected $100,000 in reward money because she reported him to the IRS.
Yeah, it says right here, whistleblowers can receive 15 to 30% of the collected funds. I think she dodged a bullet. First, he cheated on her. He's a cheater.
Right.
He cheated on her. He tried to cheat the system.
Try to cheat the IRS.
Yep.
You try to cheat the country.
Yes.
Okay.
Please, my potholes need to get filled up.
Absolutely. Oh, I don't know. Maybe schools need to have better funding and resources.
When in actuality, it just goes to the police department.
Right. Just more policing in heavy policed areas that tend to still have crime. You know why? Because the solution is to fund community programs, helping people get higher paying jobs, investing in people's life, their happiness, making things more accessible and affordable, but whatever.
Right. So whoever's in charge of where all this tax money is going to go, please, can you move it around a little bit to the right places? Thanks.
So anyways, I just think this is interesting. Maybe more people can get their partner to stay faithful to them if you threaten them with the IRS.
Or maybe this is a new side hustle that we should be, looking into, because I don't know if you go on TikTok or Instagram, they have so many different side hustles. You can, read a book, you can transcribe, you can buy a vending machine, you can buy a laundromat, you can buy ATMs. You can tell on people to the IRS. You could be a snitch for money.
Okay, so what about you and Tone coming up with the scam? You report him, right? He pays some money.
No, he goes to jail.
No. We're not going to jail. Wait, I don't like that. Listen to this scammy idea.
Okay.
You and Tone are in it together. You report him for whatever certain amount.
Okay.
He pays that certain amount.
Right.
But from the 15, 20% or whatever whistleblowers get, you split that with Tone. So then you cover the money that he had to pay back.
If it makes sense. Because, okay, let's give a round number. Let's say Tone owes $100,000, right? So now he has to pay $100,000.
Right.
But I get 30% of that. So I get $30,000.
Wait, that's it?
That's it. We don't win anything. Well, I guess he only ends up paying $70,000 because I get $30,000 back. Right?
Aren't you supposed to be good with the math? Aren't you the one who's always going to the lottery and getting tickets and telling me about my chances going up if we keep on buying more?
Well, Nessa, all I know is if you buy 5 lottery tickets, that's $10 because they're $2 each.
Right.
So that's the kind of math I can help you with. You want to play blackjack at the casino? Cool. I'll count them cards fast. Like, that's the math I know.
I've seen you do this. That's why I thought you were good in math.
I'm going to teach Amar how to play blackjack fast. That way she can add quick.
Do you think you're encouraging her to be a gambler like you?
I think I'm encouraging her to be critical thinker when it comes to the strategy of blackjack. Now we can play for fun. We don't have to gamble.
Right.
She can learn a math game.
Right.
And everybody wins except for us because the casino always wins. So.
Right. Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Maybe we can get our own casino, Nessa.
Stop selling me dreams. I am tired. I'm tired of giving you money to go buy more lottery tickets, part of your scammy group chat that you got going on.
Why does it have to be scammy? It's very legitimate.
No, it is. But you guys are all getting scammed. You guys aren't going to win.
Nessa, it's $10.
Okay.
Every now and then. In the scheme of my life, I'll probably spend at most $1,000 total on lottery tickets if I live to be 60, 70, 80. Like, that's not that much.
Why don't you guys in the group chat with the high hopes of winning the lottery? What do you guys call? What is this group chat called? Lottery hopers? Like,
no, I don't know. Let me look.
Like what are
There's so many different ones because sometimes people won't put their money in fast enough, so you can't be in it. Like, it's very clear. Like, hey, send your money.
So what is the group chat called?
There's 5 or 12 different ones because it'll be 12 of us, and then all of a sudden
Bay
one
Area
person doesn't jump
scammers.
in. No,
New York City scammers.
Not even close. It'll be like, okay,
Lost Hope Lottery.
No. You're such a hater, and no, gonna win and leave Nessa out. No.
Oh, that's a new one. Okay, so why don't you guys come up with a better scam? Why don't you share this information with them? They probably have a better chance in reporting somebody on their unpaid taxes to the IRS and getting some percentage out of it versus trying to win the lottery.
That's too much work. And then you got to watch your back because that person's family's mad at you. That's a lot.
But what if you give money back?
Okay, so let's all get together and we can work the system.
Right. The system's always going to beat us down.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? I don't play with the IRS.
Come on.
All that to say, pay your taxes so that if you do want to be a cheater, you don't have to watch your back.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to protect the cheater in this moment right now.
The cheater for their taxes, not the cheater that's cheating on their significant other.
Both, I guess, in this situation. Look, don't get caught up with the IRS. That is by far worse than getting caught cheating in a relationship. By far.
You think so?
Absolutely. To owe money back to the IRS, I'd rather be a cheater.
Whoa.
That's crazy. Would you rather owe money to the IRS?
I owe money to the IRS every year. I have to do my taxes.
Well, that bad example. My point is, if you're a cheater with your taxes and you're a cheater in your relationship, if you don't want to get caught up, don't cheat on whoever you're in a relationship with. And most importantly, don't cheat on those taxes. Okay, now speaking of cheaters, let's get into this. Some red flags, but it's not just red flags that people think about. people are talking about, how do you know if you're really with a cheater? Here's something that I read about. No, what I like about this article is that this information came from private investigators that spy on people who are cheating on their partners. So they really know the ins and out, right? They're probably really, can you imagine an investigator? They're probably really good at cheating, right?
Probably.
They can get away with it. So anyways, this article, I was reading up about it and they were talking about, here are some clear cheating red flags from real experts that do this work. Mm-hmm. If you're no longer having sex, well, I don't want to say no longer having sex, but a diminished or heightened sex drive.
Heightened?
Yeah, because like if there's something unusual about the sex drive and it's kind of going on for a while, it's like, what's going on? Like there's something being compensated for, in my opinion. That's how I take this. So like if they're not in the mood, okay, boom, that's pretty clear. They're probably sleeping with somebody else.
That sounds ridiculous.
It's true.
What if your libido just goes down?
Yeah, but I mean, it could be. But I'm saying if this is the circumstance.
Okay.
Right?
If you already have a gut feeling and this is where your gut feeling's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I think a combination of the above red flags, it's a clear sign that this person's cheating on you. It's not definite, but it's a good indicator. Okay. So if the sex habits have changed in your relationship drastically, something could be going on. Like what is happening right now, And some people, they might be sex addicts. So they all of a sudden, like, their true colors come out. Or someone can have a more heightened sex drive because they feel guilty.
Whoa.
So let's say in your relationship, whatever was considered average, all of a sudden that starts changing. It's like in high gear at this point. It's maybe because they feel guilty that they're cheating on you. So they're trying to overcompensate by having more sex with you.
Or they're charged up. Remember that Sex in the City episode? Actually, it was the recent ones where it's like, and just like that. And Miranda came home and all of a sudden she was trying to get frisky with Steve when she was really getting it in with Che.
Oh, see?
Like that.
See? Red flag.
Steve was like, what's going on?
Okay, now you have brought up concerns. I'm not bringing this up out of nowhere. Previous episodes on Nessa Off Air where you talked about your partner, the father of your incredible daughter, being a little negative lately.
Okay.
Okay, that's not a good sign because, somebody who's a cheater could be negative because of all the stress of being unfaithful and having to carry that burden, the secrets. They're so annoyed with this weight on them that they take it out on you by being negative.
Whoa, I would think the other way around, only because...
What do you mean the other way around?
There's an episode of Friends, okay? I watched a lot of TV, all right? So there's an episode of Friends, and Joey's dad was cheating on his mom. Mm-hmm. And his mom knew and was like, yeah, I knew, but he was just so nice to me now. So basically, because he was cheating, his guilt made him such a nicer and sweeter husband.
I could see that.
Yeah.
100%. That's
why... the opposite of this.
Well, yeah, but I think that makes sense. And yeah, if all of a sudden Tone, who's not gifting you with diamonds, rubies, emeralds, all of a sudden shows up with a yacht for you named after you.
Whoa. That's a guilty purchase.
It's a guilty purchase.
That we're going to take out onto the sea.
Okay, so definite phone behavior changes. Sneaking off to another room, being on their phone. You know what's so interesting? Because Tone does this, Colin does this too. They use the bathroom for a very long time. And I know they have their phones with them. So who knows? That's a little sketchy if we're going under this description of phone behavior changes.
Yowza.
So yes, if someone steps outside constantly to go on their phone when they used to never do that before, might be a clear sign that they got something going on. Or maybe if they're heavy on the text message in front of you when they weren't, might be another sign that they're chatting with the mistress or what do we call guy cheaters? Damn. What's the opposite of a mistress?
Side piece. They say this is Reddit, said we'd usually say paramour if it's a male lover in a relationship, that'd be considered cheating.
Paramour?
Yeah.
Like the group Paramore?
Cause I got it what I wanted now.
That's how you know we live in a patriarchal society. By the way, I'm not saying this to have like Swifties be my fans.
Right.
But what? That is the name of guys who are cheating?
I mean, that's what this one.
Wait. So this is the guy, the cheatee? That's what we call them. The opposite of a mistress is called paramour.
I've never heard anyone refer to them as cheatees either. So.
I mean, I don't know how to explain it in this context right now, but the side piece.
Yeah, it's so wild because guys are cheaters. The fact that they don't have a name like mistresses, like women do, again, patriarchal society.
That's so...
Guys are cheaters. Give them a name.
Bizarre. Wow. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so you could read up more about this. One of the sites that had this story was a New York Post. But yeah, so here's some clear signs from experts that you're getting cheated on, which is, listen, to be honest, is scary.
And what's crazy is these could be just very normal. Like, okay, all of a sudden they're texting more or maybe they're playing video games. You don't know what they're on their phone doing.
That is true because Colin and one of his really good friends, family to us, Eric Reed, because we don't live in the same city anymore, state or anything. And the Reeds live in New Orleans now.
Yeah.
And we're here in New York. Colin and Eric do play little games on their phone.
See, you never know. Now this could also be a list to jumping to conclusions. So be careful. Don't be jumping to conclusions either.
Yeah. And I think the fact that you're defending the behavior is pretty clear. It's also another red flag that maybe the person defending all this behavior could be the cheater.
Am I cheating?
Okay. Well, anyways, Katrina, before we wrap this up,
okay,
I am concerned about your relationship with Tone.
Oh, man.
He was one of my great friends before I hooked you both up together.
But you said you choose me
Absolutely. Listen, things hit the fan, I'm going to ride with you, Katrina. Even though literally I do believe my blood pressure is up because of you.
What if Amara chose Tone over me? Would you still choose me?
Wait, hold up. What do you mean?
I don't know.
I would go see Amara with Tone, but I'm still with you.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
I'm going to try to get Amara on her side. But anyway, so all that to say, here's something interesting that you can start applying. I can start applying. We all can start applying in our relationship if it's still worth fighting for, which obviously you and I are in it, right? So on, tough times, dark days, maybe this can be helpful or maybe this is going to be stupid advice, okay? But so you need to watch your mouth, Katrina, which I know is very hard because you exude a lot of, I don't know, just snappiness. You're snippy, you're rude, all the above. But anyways, words can end up obviously destroying your relationship. So you want to avoid these phrases if you're trying to make your relationship last, okay? So this is not Nessa's list. I'll give you that later. But this list came from therapists who I would like to believe are experts in the subject of healthy relationships, okay?
All right, let's see it.
So I pulled this from CNBC because we definitely want to cite the source because we are not therapists. But let's see what they have to say. These are the phrases you don't want to say in a relationship because it can cause a contentious, hostile environment. And we don't want that. We're sick of it. We already deal with the world. The last thing we want to deal with is a hostile relationship, okay? Don't say this phrase right here. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh.
That's a popular Katrina saying.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah. No, I've seen
downplaying. Well, I guess if it's not that big of a deal, it's not that big of a deal. Because you know what? To you, everything's a big deal.
It is. Everything's a big deal.
You know what? Let's readjust this to not just be in relationships, friendships. You and I
agree.
We're in a relationship, Nessa. So.
Yes, and I can't stand you half the time. But okay, how about this? You're overreacting. This is another one you say to me.
You know what? Because you do overreact a lot.
Yeah, but that's what you always say to minimize my experience.
I can see why you shouldn't say that because, again, like you say, you're minimizing your experience. But what do you do when that person does overreact all the time?
Take them out to Hot Pot, have a conversation and say, hey, that thing you talked about earlier, I think maybe we could approach it like this. Because I'll tell you what, for someone like me who does care about everything, I think the best way to deal with someone like me is to have solutions. So instead of accusing me and minimizing my experience, why don't you help my experience? Why don't you give me some productive insight that's going to help me get past this issue?
So, for example, if the issue is that you are overreacting to everything, Not saying that this is a real thing that you do.
Yes, it is.
I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. But let's say
with you, of course.
Okay, but
because we're very close, we work together. I am always overreacting in the sense of my work, and you get to experience it the most. Lots of people I know would wish that I overreacted over anything with them. I don't.
Okay, so thank you, I guess.
Yes.
But all that to say, so what's your solution if I say, Nessa, like let's say I wanted
Give me an example.
I wanted to take you out to Hot Pot because you're overreacting about everything.
What's the everything?
You're overreacting about.
Give me a real example, Katrina. Put it out there.
I don't know.
Give me, because I will come back with how I would like you to address me overreacting, but I'm going to give you a real solution for me.
What if it's like 15 things that I can't.
Name one.
I can't like write down.
What?
No. The stories aren't good enough that we talk about on air.
Right.
They're not written well enough for you to get a good gauge of how to deliver it.
You didn't flesh out the story.
Yeah.
You didn't get all the context.
Sure.
You didn't cite the source.
But what if my comeback to you is, it's too much information, Nessa?
I need something. Let me decide the information.
Okay.
Best thing. Who, what, where, and why.
What about when?
And when. Don't leave when out. When is feeling excluded. If you know this, how long have we been together, working together and writing out? 15 years?
Just about.
So you know what pisses me off. Today, you pissed me off in the studio. So I stopped talking to you because I felt my blood pressure going up and I was going to say something mean, which I don't feel, but I'm so frustrated with you because sometimes I've said this to you before. I don't feel like you are motivated by positive insight. You are motivated by bad outcomes. That it's true.
By bad outcomes?
You wait till the last minute. Boom. You're risky. So you don't receive positive feedback. It doesn't mean anything. You know what that does? Oh, I got more time to do nothing. Oh, I'll get to that another day. That's why I can't give you compliments. I've learned this over the years, so I don't say anything.
You know what, though? I'll tell you this. I hear what you're saying.
Right?
I'm onto
something.
I didn't want to give you that example because I know the stories were crap today. So I didn't want to give you that example. But I will say, maybe I'm not motivated by positive reinforcement.
I agree.
However, negative reinforcement is almost worse because it makes me not want to do anything. So how do you deal with that?
I don't think it's negative reinforcement. I think you need things on the brink of completely falling apart.
No, you know what it is?
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I just need to. Okay, so here's how I've been moving as of late. We have a lot of things to do.
Sure.
Right? So what I've been doing is there's so many things to do. I just decide to deal with them when they need to be dealt with. And you probably, what do you mean probably? I know you hate that.
Well, of course, because usually the stuff I have a deadline for are due to others in a timely manner. So it's not an implication of me personally, Nessa. This could be holding up a possibility for us to grow in different ways. So you're hindering that. That has nothing to do with, I'm going to be all right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this where, hey, Katrina, I need this information because this can mean X, Y, Z. Everything, that's why I said it's very clear with you when I'm overreacting, because I do. It has everything to do with the work and the potential of us doing well.
Right. See, that's why I don't like having to give you a fake scenario, because there'll be times when I'll be like, damn, this is what I wish I would have brought up to her on the podcast, because this is a perfect example. But then I end up giving you some whack example that I already know the answer to. Like,
well, the door is always going to be open for you.
Hot pot?
I'm going to give you another thing to put on your to-do list. The next time I'm overreacting over something you feel is very important, that is different than the example we just talked about, which is usually a snippet of all the other things I overreact about.
Right.
Let me know, and I'm more than happy to address it in front of the world, in front of these cameras.
Maybe it's not overreacting, but it's the way you deliver your feedback about it. Like, it's like,
yeah, no, look.
You know what it's like? What is, like, today? Oh, gosh, you pissed me off today.
Go, do it.
But I let it be because I had a lot to do, and I know I was getting it done at the last minute. So I let it be.
I like how you just glaze over that part right there.
But it's true. We had a lot to do.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But we got it done.
Right.
I don't know if you realized.
I mean, not all the way. You still got to get
a lot of it got done.
The logo part.
Your interview got done. Your show got done. The social clip got done. The reviews got done.
Are they done, the social clips?
I sent you 4. Okay, 1 had to get edited because you wanted something that we don't typically do. Okay?
You had...
Fair or not fair? Is that typically what we do?
We had I'm about to give you the layers. You want the business now or you want that
I'll take it. Go ahead, because I know what I'm going to say.
First off, the logo of the radio station that we're on was not clear, right?
Okay. Look at your last social clips.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. So you try to do a quick fix, which, by the way, I love the fact that you're trying to get this solution done. However, the logo was so big, it covered what? So you guys have to look at the camera. I wish you guys, if you're listening in the car right now, go back to this moment wherever we're at. The logo was so big. Mind you, I have 2 little buns in my hair.
2 top buns.
It covered 1 bun. I looked crazy. I looked like a unicorn.
Listen, here's what I've learned.
You had me looking like a stupid unicorn.
I don't know about stupid, but maybe unicorn. But here's what I've learned working with you. I could have told you the bad news. Hey, Nessa, I can get this, but you probably won't get it for an hour. Or I can deliver you something that you may or may not be okay with.
Well, as we work on communication.
I delivered you something.
Wait, hold on. See, this is why you and Tone aren't on the same page.
I'm not done.
Okay. Oh, you're not done. Okay, go ahead.
I delivered you something, and lo and behold, you weren't okay with it. But that was me trying to cut off the negative energy that you would have gave me for having to wait another hour for this stuff, because I mean, I'm doing what I can do.
Because I want to communicate. I practice. I'm not going to allow your toxicity to rub off on me. Next time, to save your effort and time, just tell me right then and there, hey, I'm trying to do this. How does this look so far? So that I'm not wasting your time.
But I've also learned that you don't want to see anything until it's at the finished product.
No. The solution here is you showing me that you're working on a solution.
I could do that.
And that's not fair in general. To be honest, like here you are trying to put this solution. We know how long it is to put social clips together. If you're in this game, you know, like editing, this. I'd rather you just say, hey, this is how it looks so far. I put the logo on. Does this look okay? Because if I said, yeah, cool, then you can render and do whatever you got to do, export it, right? If I said, oh, no, one of my buns is off. I look like a unicorn now with only 1 bun coming out my head. Now let's just wait to adjust this when you have time.
Okay.
Who knows? Yeah. Anyways, we clearly need to get more therapy. So let me tell you some other phrases that you should not use in your relationship.
We haven't even got to the story.
If you plan to have a healthy, functioning, long-lasting relationship. The other thing you should not do is say this phrase right here. You always blah, blah, blah.
Ooh, I do that to you. That's great.
You say, oh, yeah,
I always do that to you.
I know you do.
I love it.
Or the other phrase is, you never blah, 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 blah.
I don't do that one to you.
Yeah, you don't use never.
You do that for me.
I don't think I've ever used never. But you have said you always, that's like one of your slogans. You should have a shirt, you always, that says that. A shirt, loud and clear, you always, ... Nessa.
Because you always do.
And why?
Because you're annoying.
Another thing that you should not say if you want your relationship to last is this phrase right here. This is just like you.
Oh.
I don't think you and I use this.
You know what? I don't use this, but I use something similar because to the effect of, I acted this way because I know this is how you've historically acted.
You definitely use that. Very toxic. My gosh. Okay. How about this phrase right here? Another one that's a no. Don't use it in your relationship if you want to still have that relationship going. Don't say this phrase right here. That's not what happened. Now, you shared a story about you and Tone, miscommunication, him getting you a drink and all this. You know, if he immediately accused you saying, that's not what happened, that would have been him being toxic. But that's clearly not what Tone said or did because he's a healthy person. But I think this is something that you do. You like to be very defensive and justify some of the wrongdoings versus just owning it. But I think you've become so diabolical with it that you'll even admit now when you don't do things that you're supposed to. You'll be like, yeah, my bad. And I'm like, yo, did she just say my bad and we just lost out on a bag because she just felt like saying my bad?
You know what I realized?
Yes. Did you realize this? That it has evolved?
I realized it's all excuses. Like I put myself in your shoes, right?
Do you really?
I do. I promise I do. So do I think that Nessa wants to hear that I have too much work on my plate, that she's giving me too much to do and I don't have enough time to do it? Do I think that Nessa wants to hear, hey, here's what I'm doing at every single hour of the day. You tell me where I can fit something in.
Yes.
No, I don't think you do. Because to me, if I were you, knowing how I know you are, it feels like you don't care. It's not done.
I don't.
See? So instead of typing...
I did before though, to be fair.
Instead of typing this text message explaining that, oh, I had this all of a sudden meeting that I had to go to, and now it's the 3-day weekend, and now 5 other people needed this from me. Who gives It wasn't, the work didn't get done. So to me, I think a better approach at this point is, my bad, it's not done, I'll get to it.
But you don't.
That I don't get to it, or I don't say that?
No, you don't get to it.
I try.
No, you've done good at, hey, my bad. That's like step 1.
Yeah.
Step 2 is actually fixing what is my bad. Like that's where I'm at and where I'm confused.
Everything, listen,
Jeez.
everything will get done when it needs to get done at a priority level. So listen, for example, you know what needs to get done every day? You need to have a radio show every day.
Yes.
That's correct, right?
Yes.
You know what doesn't need to happen every day?
What do you do every day that doesn't need to happen every day? Go ahead.
I'm giving you an example of something that doesn't get done every day because
Yes.
it doesn't need to happen every day. A social clip doesn't need to go out every day. So if I had to pick between putting together the music for Hot 97 that you listen to on the radio,
Sure.
that needs to be done every day.
Yes.
If I have to pick between that, if I have to pick between getting you some stuff, preparing and producing your show that needs to happen every day.
Absolutely.
If I have to pick between now editing the syndicated show, your nationally syndicated show,
Yes.
that has to go out to the nation every single day. And if I have to pick between actually physically being inside Hot 97 to run your show every day,
Yes.
and recording you and Camilo every day,
Yes.
those are the 5 or 6 things I'm going to pick. If something doesn't fit else, something's going to drop off. Like, let's say a meeting happened.
For sure.
If a meeting happened, be like, yo, bro, I can't take it because this artist came in and I got to put this clip out. Guess what? I stay up till 6 a.m. like I have to do.
But we don't have those every day.
But all that
I'm
to
talking
say-
about every day.
So all that to say, in my everyday that I mentioned, and I just gave you some, right?
Right.
And I feel like those are everyday
Absolutely.
non-negotiables.
Yes.
If those are non-negotiables to me and you, I would feel
Yes.
anything else that doesn't fit inside of that non-negotiable square just doesn't get done. And I'll tell you this, I really try to fit stuff in. If you're recording, sometimes you don't see me paying attention because I'm trying to do something else. Then you ask me a question that I won't have an answer for because I'm doing something else. And then it just don't fit.
Well, here's the thing. I think everything you said is valid. And I agree.
But you think I should prepare more.
I'm always going to say that. However, I will say this. This is in correlation to something you do every day. So the one-offs or the requests, those aren't every day.
Yeah. So what I mentioned already for every day is already a long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where else am I going to fit anything else in?
If we know, let's go with the artist. Let's say we have an artist.
Let's say we have an artist interview. That's great.
So
There's no
usually
one-offs.
it doesn't just happen spontaneous. Those days are done. Artists are busy. Celebrities are busy. Usually that's planned out in advance.
Like a week. You're right.
I'm not going to monitor or surveillance how you conduct your every minute. That's on you.
Right.
But hopefully in a week,
Yeah.
you got to figure it out.
Yeah, no.
But that's also the evolution, I will say this of me, is that I have learned I can go over your schedule. I can help you do this and that. But ultimately, you know what's best for you. And that was something that I'm just saying for our relationship. I think a phrase that does help is that you have to trust that person to do what they got to do to hold their end of the bargain up. So I think a phrase to use in a relationship to continue a healthy, long-lasting relationship is, hey, well, I trust you to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know when you're going to do it. I don't know where you're going to do it.
I don't know if you're ever going to do it.
I don't know if you're ever going to do it, but my spirit and gut tells me you're going to figure it out.
And you know what? I would hope your spirit and gut tells you that I'm not just tricking these off.
I don't think you ever are.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want us to miss out on a bag, or not even, let's even take it away from a bag, right?
Right.
I wouldn't want us to not get our work done just because I want to.
Yeah, no.
I want to do something else. Like,
no, I don't think that's ever the case
crazy.
with you. But I think that's why we love each other and we continue our relationship, because our intentions are good. However, you could be better, just like I could be better. But I think a phrase that you do have to use, because we've been talking about all the things you should not say in a relationship, is, hey, I trust you to do what is best, especially in our relationship. And that's how I feel. Hey, you know best. You know your schedule. I can sit here. I could punch holes in it. You might not like what I'm going to say. So why don't you figure it out and do it however way you want to do it?
Right.
Sometimes it's not, you can't surveillance the path to the end goal. You just got to get to that end goal. I don't care how you get it done, just get it done.
Right.
Where younger me cared so much.
Yeah, like I want to know step by step. You know what's crazy?
I don't care.
We don't need a therapist now. We should pay ourselves right now.
I mean, we're so good. This is just like us.
This is
It's one of the phrases you should not say. But this is just like us.
I'm leaving.
Yeah. That's another phrase you should not say in your relationship. This, I'm leaving. Because, you know, at that point, it's pretty clear that things are going to get really nasty between you two in the communication, because you're minimizing the other person who's trying to speak to you. You're basically saying that they're not worthy of you staying and having that conversation. However, you should leave if it is getting hostile, if it's getting very intense, you can't handle, walk away.
That's not even that. They're also just talking about ending a relationship. I'm leaving.
Yeah, because once you say that, you got to be very clear on it.
And that's like, you're trying to now cause a reaction. Like you're like, oh, you need to start doing this or else this. Like, that's whack.
Ultimatums never work.
Never with Nessa.
I mean, well, they kind of work with you, Katrina.
Do they?
Yeah, I said everything has to be falling apart for you to get activated. Yeah.
Oh no, I think you're right, but I don't want it to be that way.
I know we got therapy. Have you ever thought of therapy?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, maybe work-wise, here's what I might need. And I know you think this, but I truly don't think I mismanage my time. You would think I mismanage my time very badly, but I promise you I don't. Anyway, probably that, like a work therapist.
Yeah.
I don't know about and maybe I'm just being so naive to think I don't need a personal life therapist, but I try to just suppress my feelings. And here I am, X amount of years later, I'm fine. I'll probably live to 100 like this, because I have a theory. I think people that live to 100 or 110, they never stirred the pot. Their high blood don't go up. They're just fine. They just roll through and they just skate through. Like, there's no reason for their blood to boil.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, Nessa, you might expire tomorrow, bro.
With my blood pressure. Who knows? But I lived a purposeful life.
Yeah. Okay. So my life was not purposeful.
No, meaning like if I die tomorrow, God forbid.
Yes,
like,
God
I mean,
forbid.
I would hope that, I lived a purposeful life.
Yeah, I think you did. But I'm just saying, like, I just try to, if it bothers me, oh, well, if I'm not going to deal with it, it's my own fault. Like, I feel like I know what my problem is.
Yeah.
And it's up to me to either deal with it or face the repercussions of what that's going to be.
Yeah. And I think people love you enough to not let you see those repercussions.
Yeah. And again,
For many years.
Like-
yeah. Do you get what I mean?
I do.
I think you're very loved by so many people. And I think, I'm not saying you're coddled, but, what are those repercussions for you?
look at that, Nessa. A little personality goes a long way, baby. 110. Here I come.